Good afternoon and good evening. It's currently just gone 2 p.m. Eastern time and I'm just going to recap my trades. I'm pretty much done for the day. Really frustrating day. Ended green. Pleased that I managed to pick off the market, but it was frustrating leading up to that time. So I'm just going to go over my trades for the day. My first trade was just after the market had opened, and I was looking for 43. I was watching for this level here. It's a high risk. I'm going to show you the pre-market levels. This is the video I created. I just paused it. The areas I was watching for, there was this high risk bounce at 43.77 and 43.72, that area there. The pre-market, we'd already broken through that level, so that was out of play now. But we still had the 43.72 level to play for, and that was basically these tops here, and it's higher risk because it's so close to the market open. I was also watching for the market to come back up to this area for a break back down for rejection, and the idea was that the 50 moving average was coming into that area. We had the data bar from 8:30 and we had the 50% fibs at that level, and we also had the bottom of this supply, this red shaded red area is this supply zone as well. So quite a few areas are leveling up, and as you can see, we've got bottoms of candles here, tops of candles, and bottoms of candles here, bottoms of candles in the pre-market. So it's an area of interest because obviously we've been at those levels before, and it's an area of support as well because we came in and instantly rejected it. Came in, rejected. We came in and we bounced at this level. Came in, we rejected it at this level. So that was the areas I was watching basically, and also had some other levels: the 4400 level, 4410, 4417, and 4425. These are all levels on watch, and they're all based on areas of the chart which I quite like. So we had the tops of pivots here, and it goes back a few weeks as well. Tops of these pivots here. Basically it's a nice little supply zone. I didn't mark it as a supply zone, but it is. And then we've got this area of confluence, tops of candles, middles of candles, almost the tops of candles here, and tops of these candles, and the top of this move from yesterday. And we had the 4400 area, which is quite a significant area. It has been for weeks and well, for months, and you can see we've broken through it, rejected it, came through, couldn't stay above it for more than a day, came back, rejected it, came back, couldn't stay above it for more than a day again. You know, we was back below it again. And so that's basically my play for today. I just wanted to take the levels, and I wanted to go with the with or without the, you know, with the trend would be a higher probability, and against the trend would be a higher risk. So I've changed my chart a little bit since earlier, so I showed you the preview on the video. My first trade of the day was, it was coming into the market open, and it was 43.73, so it'd be this area here, and I got in, I think it was just exactly at that level, and I was in the green for a bit. I should have probably taken profit at this 43.77, because even though it's a previous level which broke in the pre-market, I should also use it as a target as well, and I didn't, and I let it. I think I had one contract, and it was a high risk, and I didn't really, I was aiming for the VWAP or something like that, and it came back and I got out, and in fact it stopped me out at the low, so my stop was just below the low of the day. My entry was up here, so that was a stop out. That was a bit annoying because I was up by about 1 hour and it came back down and stopped me out. So my next trade was the break and retest of the let's draw it back in again, of this trend line here. So I'm just going to connect up these two, so it's about there. It was this area here basically. Let's go back into the 5. Does that match up from what I've got? It should be at 4, 43.84 is where I got in, 43.84. And so, yeah, so it's kind of there. So it's not quite the area I wanted, but because I can't remember how I drew it originally. But it was 43.84, which is this area here. And what I was waiting for, I wanted to see it come back down, and come back up and retest. We had this trend line coming down. Let's draw it in. And the trend line was coming off of, I should have done this before I started the video, but let's draw it in now. And let's do the hourly because that's what I drew it on. Makes more sense. Yeah, here we go. So the trend line I was watching, and I took it from that point, and it was through to there. So that's the trend line, and it's clone it. I always like to clone it. In fact, there's a tool which I just tried, and that was exactly the trend line I had, and it was this area. So let's go back into the 5 minutes. I always base my trend lines mainly on the on the hourly chart. This is a 5 minute one, which we can ignore for now, and I'll go into that. So what I was waiting for was the break and retest of this area, and I got in just about there. It come in, and I saw it pull back again, and I thought again I was in the green on this trade for a little tiny bit, and it looked like it was rejecting the bottom of that data candle as well, which we talked about in the pre-market video. You know, so I'm back testing at the moment, and then it went against me, so I stopped out. I think my stop was above the fibs and or the 50% level of that data candle, and that was the bottom over here. And I did re-enter again on the top of this data candle, and again it was in my favour for a bit. Sorry, this chart looks messy. It's looking messy now, so let's get rid of the drawings. And it was in my favour for a bit as well, and again I stopped out. So that was 3 stop outs by that point, and then I need drawings back because I've got my levels. So bear with me 1 second. Here we go. So my next level is 4400, which is a nice psychological number, this area here. And I got in a little bit early, and I added when I got back up to here as well. So my entry was, it was there, and initially it's doing okay. I was targeting the VWAP, and I took a little tiny bit off for profit, and then I added when it came back to that area, and it initially pushed through and then came back. I was a little bit in, and then as you see it stopped me out. So my stop was above that area, and then I had 2 more stops. As you can see, it's a frustrating day. There weren't massive sizes, so even though I was down more, I think I was down about 5R. So I took this short, and then I took this short, and again every time I took the short it went down in my favour, and I just didn't take profit. Again I took the short here, didn't take profit, and I stopped myself out at the high on that. I got wicked out just there actually. So I should have given up really, but you know, my levels are good. My levels, you know, my levels generally do work, and I was about to give up. It was about 12:30, and was coming into this supply zone, which I should have just, once we've broken out of this supply zone, I should have just waited. I shouldn't have bothered taking any of these, but that's hindsight. And we came into this zone, and I took a couple of contracts just here, and as it came in to touch that zone, and I would have added more had we got it up to 44.25, but we didn't. So I was in, and so I had a couple of contracts there, and I had an order. If we broke down through this, I created this channel. So this blue box you can see. So this is a tool built into TradingView which lets you. So I created this. It automatically creates the second bottom half of the channel as well for you, a bit quicker than drawing the lines. And then I had an order waiting. I went away and I had an order waiting. So if it broke this channel, broke the trend, then I wanted to get in short. And I had another 2 contracts. And my out was just a few minutes ago. So my first out was the first target. Remember I said down there I didn't take my targets properly, but this time I made sure I did. So my first out was when I touched that target there, and it came back on me. toyed about adding. I should have added again there, but I didn't because I had an ad from there. I need to get better at my ads, and that's part of my 1% journey. Every week I'm going to try and change my trading by 1%, and adding is one of the ones which I'm going to add onto that list, because you know that was would have been a great ad. But anyway, my next out was here. It was just above the VWAP, and it was just above this zone, and it took ages. It came in, it pulled back, it came in, and eventually this wick here, this one here, wick got me my order. So that was half my contract I was out of, and then I had a contract sitting. I had an order sitting on this data bar, and here we go, the data bar's back in play again. And because I'm so convinced that this data bar from 8:30 does something, you know, and it's recognisable, the market moves on this one data bar. So I had an order sitting there, as you can see, I got filled, and then as soon as it broke up and came into the VWAP, I took my last one out, because I don't want to, you know, that was a big profitable trade. I was holding on to all that unrealised gain from this position up here, and I didn't want it to pull all the way back up and lose half the gain. But I'm up pretty well for the day. Even though I took 5 losing trades, it only took 1 winning trade to have a brilliant, really good green day. So it's a good day, really. So I'm not sure how many hours this trade was. It would have been probably, let's work it out. My entry was about here. I don't normally work on hours. My stop was just there. Oh, and my entry was, to make it easy, it was about there. It was, that's my 14R. There you go. That's not a bad day. It wasn't a full 14R, so I took profit coming down, but it worked out well in the end. So like I said, even though I tried to catch all these levels, when I do catch them, I get big moves. So I'm happy to take lots of little paper cuts, and you know that's a 5R loss coming up, but it's a 14R gain, so it works out really well. Where do I see the market going? We're trying to get over the VWAP, and we haven't yet. And that's a bit messy. I'm going to get rid of this. I'll show you this tool on TradingView as well. It's called, and yeah, I didn't realise it was even there, parallel channel, which I've added as a shortcut, and you can draw it in. So you draw in your channel, and then you just extend it down. Because you've probably seen in some other videos, I normally create a trend line and then clone it. It's just exactly the same thing, and then you can either right click and copy it. I'm sure there's a way of doing it, but you can just hit Control C and Control V to clone, but I find it easier for any drawing. You want to duplicate it, press and hold the Control button down on the keyboard and drag it down, and that clones it. I'll still use that, but I quite like the parallel channels, because it just, the other thing I like it puts in as well is the center point. So you can see it puts in the center line as well, and I've just made, when in the settings I didn't like it, it was dark blue, so I've just moved this down to like 10%, just so there's a little bit of opacity, but not enough to annoy me. I think it's at about 30%, but that's it. So great little tool to use. Anyway, so good day trading. Let's have a quick look at oil, because you know we're following that. So oil hasn't done much today. It's basically gone sideways. So my out yesterday up here was a great out on the swing trade. I was worried that it was gonna just pull back a bit, and I think it still might do. Come back, eat some time off the clock, and then push back up. I think that's what it's gonna do. Like I said, we're in this area of demand right now, this demand area with high concentrated volume, and it's tried to get through once, twice, 3 times, 4, 5, 6 times, and it's holding this area. So this is an area to watch for, and it looks like we're breaking back out again now. So potentially it could be another swing trade, but while the markets are doing what they're doing, I'm going to stay away from this unless there's a good setup. You know, I'm waiting for it to come back down here for a treble bottom maybe, or a break and retest, which is kind of what we're doing. It's doing that now. So if you look at this on on the hour, on the daily, you can see we've broken out, we come back, and potentially we're going to see the move up. So I'm going to keep an eye out maybe for a swing trade, and maybe just buy another week or 2 week contract and see where we go with that. Okay, I think that's it really. Thank you for watching, and it's nice to point out that you can have lots of losing trades in a row, and one trade makes that back. As long as you stick to your plan and stick to your way of consistency trading, then it should work out. Here we go. I did contemplate holding that runner here, the one I got out of with, because I've got a feeling it's putting in a bit of a bear flag. But we'll see. If it does break this bear flag, I may just take a small speculative trade short. But apart from that, I'm pretty much done. In fact, England, I've got the shirt on to watch it. I'm playing in about half an hour, in about quarter of an hour actually. So I'm probably going to watch the football, and they're playing Italy, and not have to worry about the market. In fact, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to shut my system down now because I'm done for the day. Okay, thank you for watching, and see you tomorrow, 8 AM, 9 AM I meant Eastern time, or here in the UK it's 2 PM, and I'll be going over the live levels again. As you can see, the levels do work. Look at the level we talked about this morning. This level was spot on, 43, 65, 50, and it was spot on to the penny. So that level worked perfectly. The level I did go long on did work as well. You could have got a little bit, hang on, it's not that level, it was this level here. It kind of came in, it hit the target, came back, so you could have got some profit on there. Me, I like to hold mine. I was going for this target, but you could have scalped it out. And then that level was great. Look at that, if you took that level there and you had this run up, that would have been a great trade. I don't even know why I didn't take it, to be honest. I'm not sure, but I didn't. I think probably because, no, I've got no excuse. I think because I got stopped out here, I wasn't really thinking about going long. Again, I thought maybe we were going to see a bit of a push down, but it's in an area. This green zone is an area of demand as well, and I should have known better. I should have just stuck with my plan, because had I stuck with the plan to go long there, it probably would have stopped me from going short here, wherever it was, up here, and again there, and then have to wait until 1 o'clock through to 2:30 just to make up for these losses on this side, because I probably would have just held the runner, VWAP, and I probably would have got out around here, and because it would have been a break of the 5-minute trend. Yeah, but there you go, it is what it is. So I need to work on my, I called this level this morning as well, and I still didn't take it. So it's a bit frustrating, but at least they work, and I know they work, and that gives me the confidence, and that's why I've got the confidence to go short. And even though they're all losing trades, it's for this reason, because the levels do work, and it's for that reason I'm happy to take them. And eventually this one worked out, and it was a great trade down. Today was an unusual day where all the levels were just going through, and not just out on NASDAQ, Qs and SPY as well. The levels just weren't holding or rejecting. So normally you get a rejection and you get time to take a bounce or rejection, but on today it just grinded all the way up. And these are the days where it can potentially be a count closer, and that's happened to me loads of times where I just lost so much, but I kept all my stops really tight. And there's a couple of times I may have just went into tilt a little tiny bit, where I thought I got in there and I was in the green, and then it stopped me out. I kind of wasn't there, but one of the positions, and I got straight back in again, but I quickly identified that and got out of that trade. So I just waited for my levels to come in, and this is the main area I was watching anyway, and I was going to layer into this position. Didn't layer in as much as I wanted to. Had I got this level here, it would have been a perfect trade, because it was a big push down. So here we are. Right, and one thing I wanted to show you as well before I go, it's okay now, but look, I took a photo of the level 2 on Bookmap, and I took a screenshot, should I say a photo, and it's quite unusual to see level 2 with hardly any big levels. So all day today we've had, you can see these big bright orange areas and red areas. So all day we've had that area there, that area there, these areas over here, these areas underneath where the sellers became buyers, and then as soon as we broke through 4400 and we broke through 43.95, I missed it. That wasn't even there at the time. There was no buyers at all, no sellers. There is now. We've got sellers sitting at 43.96. So this area is a bit yellow now, but it's not much. And I was surprised to see nothing. I don't think I've ever seen level 2 or bookmap where there was no levels waiting. You know, big orders waiting to come into these levels. So I'm not sure what you can take from that, but maybe the market has decided to had enough as well and decided to go home today. Who knows? But this is the current live level 2. This is bookmap. This is, and you can see we've got a few levels back now. Orders are starting to build up at 44.10. Big area. Look at that. See, there was orders there, and then suddenly, when I just said, they just vanished. It's almost like this. They gave up. So, for example, this is where I was short, and you know I was probably looking to get out if we break 44.10. As soon as we broke down and we broke through this 43.95 area, whoever had their orders up here decided enough was enough, and they dropped all their orders. It just dropped, and that's why I like bookmap. I love level 2, but bookmap's great because you can see the current orders coming in here on level 2, and you can see what's happening in real time on the bid and ask, and you can see orders stacking up, and you know sometimes you see them being spoofed as well, which is technically illegal, but you do see orders coming and going and then just vanishing. But this one, but the fact you can see the history and go back and just review the history of the levels is great, and that's how I know it's suddenly there, and suddenly it was just blank. There's nothing. And level 2 I normally use. I'll just move this out of the way. Let's just move this. I use Ninja Trader. So this is level 2 I normally use, and I'm watching the levels on here. This is about 60 deep, and it corresponds exactly with, not that one, with this. So if you look at the levels, I'll just draw them back in again. So for example, we're now looking at 4400 coming into that area here, 4400, 43.99, and if you look at 4400, we've got, I was moving up now, but we got 255 orders, 255 orders there, and that's what I'm watching on a daily basis. I watch level 2 and I'm looking for big orders, and I'm watching time and sales as well. So for example, when we see 43.96 and it only says there's 20 orders, but I see, like we're seeing now, lots and lots of orders, more than 20. You know there's some hidden orders up here somewhere, and there's a seller trying to offload his shares, but doesn't want to be on the limit 2, doesn't want to be shown up here on the bookmap. And you know, so that's one way of knowing whether it's gonna, if you keep seeing the same number like 43.97 coming and going, always showing 43.97, but you're saying small size there, then someone's putting their orders on, just, you know, just trying to get rid of a big job lot by the looks of it. But anyway, I'm still learning level 2 as well. Every day is a learning day, and that's it really. Okay, thank you for watching, and I will be around tomorrow at 9 AM Eastern time for the pre-market levels. Okay, thanks for watching.